Hi everybody, it's Tara. I'm back from Drive. Just as we were leaving, I just wanted to make sure that young male cub that we left was going to be all right with us leaving. For those of you who just missed the information, I see there's a question that's come in from Sandy about white cloth. Someone had actually said to me, or I'd read somewhere about white cloth having died. And then when texting, I couldn't quite hear what he was saying on Drive, but it was saying, no, this is white cloth. And when I saw her blue eye, I said, yeah, she's got a bright blue eye. And Patrick said, yeah, but white cloth has got a bright blue eye. So that was quite interesting, because I'd say I'm sure I read somewhere that she had died. So she hasn't died, she's very well. And as we were leaving, as I say, her cub, which Patrick had said was very skittish to begin with, he was actually sitting there and watching us, and as I was trying to pull out the first time, I clanked the keys together and he looked up quickly, so he was still a bit unsure. And after Patrick saying he was a little bit skittish to begin with, I was quite keen to keep him relaxed, to obviously, as I said before with the elephants, try and keep them relaxed so that next time they see us they remember that we're not going to push them. So I took my time coming out of that sighting a little bit just to make sure that he was okay, and he was looking at us. So I just, as I was explaining yesterday on Drive, with all cats, if you squint your eyes at your pet cat, it'll squint its eyes back, and that means, hey, you're all right. And that's basically what I was doing to him, and eventually he did that back to me. He was squinting his eyes and looking away. And that just means that he's relaxed. And eventually, when I did start up the vehicle, he didn't even look, which was very different to when obviously we approached. So he was fairly relaxed about us being there. The only time he kind of looked up was when I did actually pull out, and I think a branch sort of scraped down the side of the vehicle. But I did move, and he still stayed, and he kind of just watched us. So hopefully, if he sees us next time, he'll still remember, okay, there's nothing to worry about. And then as we were driving out, White Cloth actually had a face up. So what I've tried to do is get a couple of pictures of their heads so that I can put them on my Facebook page, and I'll put them on the Ningbook page so that you guys can see the difference. And as I say, unfortunately, I didn't have my head screwed on when I was saying to you, I think it looks like it's Induna, after me saying about the length of the tail, which obviously looked very different. Yeah, Valerie, you're going to start walking around squinting at your cats. It's a very good one. It really does work. I've done it to tigers. I've done it to leopards now, to other pet cats, and it does work. It does actually put them at ease, especially if you look straight past them, not directly into the eye. You look straight past them, squint your eyes, and then they will squint their eyes and look away, and that just means, okay, all is well. So yeah, as I say, I'm going to put those pictures up, and I'm going to have a look, and if anybody can have a look as well, if you can look at the pictures of Induna and Mishu. And as I say, I saw those two black spots above the markings above the eye, and I don't remember them being on Induna and Mishu, so that might be one of the giveaways to look for in the future. So it'd be quite interesting if ever we do see them together as well. So I will be putting those up on those two areas, on the Ning and onto the Facebook. So I'll try and do those. I've got some pictures of the Styx Pride as well that I took the other day. So again, if anybody would like to see those, I'm going to try and put those up either tomorrow or the following day. I'm going to just try and do that sort of on a weekly basis, maybe try and put a few pictures up that I take. And hopefully some of you have seen the flowers, and the flowers were from Mark's flowers, and he said, they're going to flower while I'm away, so I thought I'll take some pictures of him and send them to him so that at least he might be able to have a look and see them while they are in bloom. Just having a look in the chat room, and Daz, you're asking, does squinting at dogs work? Not really, not as far as I know. Dogs communicate differently. Dogs tend to communicate more with their tail and with their ears. Not so much with squinting their eyes. They also use their teeth. Obviously cats do that as well. I mean, if a cat's got its ears flat back, then you know it's not nice. It's not happy. And you'll see even with the leopard, if they're not happy, they go down and the ears go flat. And again, it's them telling you, hey, I'm not happy with you. And I don't know if you noticed when we were pulling in at that stage, that's why I didn't want to go any further, because I was getting that reaction from that young cub. So I didn't want to push any further. So that's why, unfortunately, we had to sit where we were. And unfortunately, didn't get as nice a view as I wanted to. But unfortunately, we have to kind of balance it out between getting you the nice view and keeping the animals happy. And as I said before, keeping the animals happy is very important, because that will then dictate if they will let you near them or not. And I have seen a very, very big reaction in animals where people haven't. Oh, apparently there's a leopard outside, so Cal's just come running in. Unfortunately, is he right outside?
No, he's on the corner.
Okay, apparently he's on the corner, so Cal's just run in and close the door behind her. So, sorry, I just lost my trail of thread. Sorry, I just really wasn't expecting that at all. Sorry about that. It's a shame we don't have a light outside. It'd be quite nice. I think it was one of the boys. As I say, Graham did say there was one of the leopards outside the lodge. That's why I wanted to head up. But obviously, something was telling me go up that road. I don't know if you guys caught the conversation me and Patrick were having. I'm like, oh, shall we try and go to the rhino down by Treehouse? But something was telling me go up that road, and obviously we bumped into the elephants, and then we had White Cloth and her cub, which was awesome. And yeah, as I say, I completely lost my thread now. I can't remember what I was talking about. But thank you very much, Blonde Viking, for what you're saying about the elephant charge. I must admit that is the first time I've dealt with an elephant charge as full on as that. If you guys want me to put I've just been having the camera on the dam just to see if there's any animals around, but if you guys do want me to put the final control camera on, I can do. It's up to you guys. I'm just going to check the emails as well. But yeah, as I say, something to me was just saying, I knew, that's why I didn't want to get too close to the elephants, because I'd already seen, obviously they were a bit unhappy, and myself and Patrick were discussing it on the way out again, and we were trying to we were just kind of discussing what had happened, because I don't think it was us. I think something had upset them before. It could have been the fact that they came from Kruger and they were in a different area. Maybe there was a predator around that we just didn't know, and they caught wind of it and it put them on edge. And us just being there, it just put her on edge even more, because she's not from the area. So I think it was just a whole communion, how do you say it? I can't speak now. Combination of things that I really think that she was just putting us in our place. But as I said to Patrick and Kath now, she meant business, and as I say, she was very, very quiet when she did it, and generally with a warning charge, they make a lot of noise, as well as maybe throwing branches. There's a bit of head weaving, but you could see there was nothing of that. When she first, I could see her, and as we drove in, that's why I stopped where we were, as well as with the branch. I was trying to get a little bit further around so I wasn't sort of face onto the herd. And I saw her, and when we had stopped, she saw us as well, and that's when I kind of saw her peeping from behind the bush. And then she came up, and again, her posture, her head was up, her trunk was sort of right out there. She was displaying her tusk to us. And again, it was very threatening, and ears out, and that was the one thing that made me think, okay, she's not going to follow through. And believe me, she got incredibly close. I don't know how well it came across on the camera, but I think she was probably 1.5 meters away from us. And as I say, that's the first time I've had to deal with a full-on charge like that. Well, not a full-on charge, but very much a full-on warning charge. And something was just saying to me, don't shout at her, just speak to her. And that's, as I say, that's why I just spoke to her softly and just said to her, what is this? Because to me at that point, I think just to shout at her, I think would have made matters much, much worse. So I just thought, okay, I'll just speak to her so she understands I'm not being threatening in any way. I don't want to add to her problems. And I think she did realise that, because she it's almost as if she kind of went, oh, that's not the reaction I was thinking of. I think it was the same as the bull in Muss the other day. It kind of was like, oh, I wasn't expecting you to stop. You were supposed to move and I was supposed to chase you. But I could see that's what he was going to do because he was following us. And I thought, okay, I'll just pull off to one side and let him walk past me. And he kind of was like, okay, well, I'm going to carry on following you. And that's when I suddenly realized, okay, this is going to get to him picking up speed and we're going to keep going backwards. So that's what made me stop and just say, hey, hold on a minute, this isn't on. And then someone saying, yeah, yeah, what was that? Glow? Wow, that must have been neat talk, pretty like Mark does, Tara. Yeah, very much so. And as I say, I go with my gut instinct. And I think someone else said, no, and where is it? Elephants don't like being shouted at. That's it. Ellies don't like yelling at all. On occasion, I have seen it does work. Again, it does depend on the person. And again, it does depend on the situation. And sometimes you do have to assert yourself as well. But again, it does depend on the situation. And that's, again, where the experience comes in and where having to understand the animal behavior comes in as well. And as I say, at that point, I felt if I had have shouted and said, hey, stop, which is what maybe a lot of people would have done, I felt that situation may have got worse. I don't know if it would have done, but I still think, obviously it had the desired effect. She backed off, the other elephants calmed down, she calmed down, and everything went back to being calm. And that's exactly what I wanted. And obviously having that reaction with the elephant. And I must admit, my heart did quicken a few paces, very much so. But as I say, it's always good experience. And as much as I don't want to have too many of those experiences, it's nice to know that you can have that experience behind you, so that when we do come across situations again, you have a lot more confidence. And I think that's a lot to do with it as well. You do have to have confidence, and that's obviously what came over from me to her. The fact that I was speaking to her confidently. I don't remember my voice shaking at all. She was just listening to me and understanding what I was trying to say to her. But if you do project fear, animals do pick up on that. And obviously that's something that you do have to be very, very careful of. And if animals do pick up on fear, then it does mean that it could turn very wrong. But you would have been in tears, so shame JB. As I say, something inside of me, even though she was coming towards us, something inside of me was still saying, hey, she's not going to follow through. I think there was one split second I thought, is she? When she put her head down, I thought, oi, here come the tusks. But then I thought, well, hold on a minute. No, she's not. She's just still, she's still there. And again, it's quite different when you've got someone else with you. I mean, obviously Mark has been around these elephants quite a while. Patrick has been obviously there, but Patrick was on camera. He was behind me, so I was in the driving seat. When Mark and me had the wall of elephants, again, it was a slightly different situation. There was a lot of weaving. There was a lot of them not knowing what to do, but this was the one elephant that was completely focused on us. And obviously Mark was in the driving seat this time, so I sort of stopped almost being the guide, because it was his vehicle, it was his drive. I have to have full faith in him and what he's doing. So it's kind of obviously learning from him as well, and what I've seen from him, and seeing how the reactions are from the elephants as well. So definitely that wall of elephants has definitely helped me, because I've never had that experience before. I've never been that close, and there's been a couple of occasions where the elephants have just walked right by us, and I've never been that close to a wild elephant before. So I think having that experience already behind me with Mark and how he's handled it has definitely helped me to handle the situation today. And obviously with the bull in must as well, that's my first ever bull in must, and I've been waiting for it, and I've been thinking, how am I going to handle it? But obviously being a woman as well, it does make it different, but I think it's a positive difference, because I do think they pick up on the fact that we are female, and obviously in their society females are dominant, and I actually think possibly that's why he backed off that day. But yeah, definitely very much a big experience, and as I say, I don't want to have too many of those, but it is nice to have that experience behind you for sure. And it really does make you feel alive. I mean, wow. I must admit, I did have a bit of adrenaline pumping around my body then. I think that's possibly why I was I'm very grateful I didn't have to answer any questions at that stage, I think, because I was more concerned about watching their behaviour, and obviously keeping myself and Patrick safe. But yeah, as I say, very, very, very exciting experience for sure. And as I say, definitely having adrenaline, and there's been very few occasions where I've had adrenaline like that. Very, very few. Even with having the lions charging at me again, I had another fully qualified ranger, so it is very different when you are the front guide. You handle it very, very differently. But when I was out and I was charged by the lion with Adrian Lowe, who's an expert, he is fantastic. And I don't know if it's because I had full faith in him or whatever, but I did not get an adrenaline dump. And after a situation like that, you are supposed to get one, and I sort of thought, oh, this is a bit worrying. I don't have an adrenaline dump. It's supposed to heighten your senses, it's supposed to heighten your skills, and I didn't have anything like that. So I was a little bit worried. So today it's actually quite nice to see that I can get a bit of adrenaline on occasion. So yeah, and again, it should help you to with the situation. And it's nice to see. Thank you very much, Blonde Viking. That I think I do agree with you. Patrick did seem to trust me. Again, we were also discussing it on the way back, and obviously saying, wow, that was amazing, and we both agreed we thought something was gonna, there was a split second there where we thought she might have done something. So yeah. Oh, my legs didn't go weak. It was just a little bit of adrenaline going around my body, but it would have been quite interesting if I did have to stand up at that point. But I think I definitely did pass the test. But what will be very interesting is to see if that female, it'd be nice to see if that female, if we do come across her again, if she will react in the same way. I'm very keen to actually find her again. I really am, because I really would like to see. And funnily enough, I think we did drive past them. I think that was the same herd, but she may have been further in the bush. But it would be nice to have seen how she would have handled us again, whether we would have got the same reception, or whether she would have recognised us and gone, oh, okay, it's you. So it would be very, very interesting to see that. But as I say, she had one tusk, and the other female had no tusk, and you saw again she had her head up, but she didn't try and do anything. So I'm going to have a look at the emails. Awesome pictures. Okay, so this is, I'm just having a look now. March the 18th, 2009. Okay, so it looks like this female, and again, there was no notches in the ear, and this is from Lynn in Canada. Thank you very much. I wonder if this is the same female. It certainly looks like her. She looks like she's got the same sort of attitude. She's got her head up again, and she did have, apparently when the jigger did approach, she did also display some concern at jigger as well. So I wonder if it's the same cow. It definitely looks like it. Be nice to see if there's any other pictures, to see if that cow without the tusk is also in the herd. That would be quite nice to see as well. I think the bottom two that you've sent are actually from today by the looks of it. But it definitely does look like the same female. Saying the tusk is about the same size. So that was in March the 18th, 2009. So thank you so much for sending that in. I definitely will be sending that through to my own box as well, just to keep a record of it. And thank you very much, Liz. You're just saying that you saw an elephant at Elephant Plains last year in September, where there was an elephant that didn't have any tusks, and the guide there, Wayne, I think, said it was a recessive gene. It could be accurate. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it was very unusual to see that elephant without the two tusks. I've not seen many elephants without two tusks. I can't think of any actually. So definitely it'll be quite nice to. I'll see if I can delve a little bit further into that. But thank you very much, Liz, for that information. I'll see if I can maybe speak to the guys from Elephant Plains as well, and just see if they know any more information as well. I've yet to meet some of the guys. I met a couple of them the other night, and I met some from another lodge that I can't pronounce, somewhere down by the gate as well. So I'm slowly getting to know some of the guides around, and I was trying to get Texan to wave to camera, but unfortunately we were just a little bit far away, and I was worried about disturbing his guests as well. So yeah, I'm just having another look. I think, Alan, if you're still here with us, you're just asking about is the length of the tail significant? I think that was when we were having a look at the leopards, and as I say, I pulled a bit of a blonde moment on myself, which I do apologise, because first I'm saying that it's got a long tail, so I can't think it being the boys, and then next thing I'm saying that it's possibly Induna because of the head markings. So I did definitely pull a bit of a blonde moment there. But yeah, definitely when you're trying to identify the leopards, you look at obviously the face, you look at the markings on the side, but we've just obviously got so used to seeing the leopard's faces that we look more at the faces, also on the bib as well. But even the length of the tail should help to identify the leopard, and as I said to begin with, the length of the tail looks too long to be one of the boys, and I should have stuck with that theory. But as I say, sometimes I put my mouth into gear before engaging my brain, so unfortunately that's why I kind of came up with the conclusion, and then obviously Patrick said, well, hold on a minute, it's Whiteclough's son. So yeah, so thankfully I had Patrick on board as well, just to steer me in the right direction. But it was quite nice to see Whiteclough, and he said he's only seen her once before, so I think Patrick was also very happy at seeing Whiteclough and her cub as well. So I'm just having a quick scan around. The things that are flitting in front of the camera are little bugs, so don't get too alarmed about these little white streaks flying in front of the camera, and they obviously just attracted by the light flying in front of the light there. And thank you very much, Patty. It's great to see you're also on board Jigger this afternoon. And thank you very much. I'm glad you guys thought I handled it well. As I say, judging by the elephant's reaction, I think she was happy with it in the end as well. But thank you so much for the picture. That's an awesome shot. And you're also asking, could she have been born without the tusk? And possibly, as I say, I think I had the question earlier about how tusks could have been broken off. I think I was trying to get to that point as well, that she could have been born without the one tusk. It could have been that something happened to it when she was younger. Maybe she had an infection or something and it fell out. It could be any of those possibilities, because you're right, it definitely doesn't look like it's been broken off. And thank you for the picture, because I wanted to have a look to see if there was a hole there or something, but it looks like it is just flattened. It looks like it possibly wasn't wasn't ever there. Because if there was even just a shard or something, you'd expect to have, if you have a look, or if you could see the side of the tusk that was there, you could still see the full, how it comes out. But on the right side where there's no tusk, it's very flat there. So yeah, she could have been born without the tusk. It could have been a dental problem and it fell out. Yeah, anything like that. So thank you very much, Patty, for that. That's awesome. Elephant with attitude, definitely, hey. Okay, so on request of some of you, I'm going to put the camera on. And unfortunately, this camera doesn't make us look very pretty. So I apologise. I'm not looking my best today, but here goes, just to show you guys my face for the day. There we go. So I'm just staying in the chat rooms as well. If you've got any other questions, please feel free to send them through. And thank you very much, JB Photographer. Definitely emphasizing the fact I need to get an external hard drive. Well, I have bought one. It's just on its way to me. So I am waiting, and I'm going to download all my pictures. And hopefully my computer might be a little bit faster again. So yeah, so hello to everybody on the chat room. Hello to Starsman, Glow, Bull, was it Bull, Alilo, Welsh, Lockie, Glow, I think I've already said you, Daz, hi, Sandy. So I really wish my eyes were this blue. Everyone's been commenting, but I think it's this camera. It sort of really accentuates all the sort of colours and unfortunately all the points on your face sometimes you wish you could block out. So I wish my eyes were this blue though. Maybe I should start wearing contact lenses or something, but they're not as blue as what they're being made out to be on the web camera. So I'm just having a look. Someone's saying in a recent documentary, studies of elephant tusk lengths have shown that intense poaching and hunting over the last few years or 100 years have actually shortened them due to some evolutionary action. That is a very distinct possibility because we're not seeing as many tuskers anymore, but it could also be because of the poaching for the tusks that they're being taken away. So it could be that we're not